Hi, I'm Dr. Georgia with Sacred Mother Healing Center. We have a question that I am going to answer.
What do you do when you feel a little overwhelmed because you have a lot of friends that are calling you in and you really want to talk with them, but it's like all these emergency things happening at the same time and you have to take care of those?
Okay. When you have a lot of social media calling you at all different directions, but you need to go in a different direction. You need to get ready for work
As
or
much as I want to talk with them.
but you still want to talk to them. But how do you handle that? Well, most of us feel the need to please everybody at all times. And we're mad at them when we can't please them. That's what most of us do. Well, if you think about it, that's not very loving. There's a lot more loving ways to be and peaceful ways. You know, they say go with the flow. Well, what does that mean, go with the flow? It means to embrace something. You know, me as a doctor, I get phone calls all the time. 24/7 I get phone calls. And I've been fortunate enough because I get the care I offer, I also receive that, the reorganizational healing, and that itself teaches you how to have lots of self-respect and love for yourself and others. So whenever you develop self-respect, you develop boundaries. And that's why people under the care start telling others, no, I don't want you to talk to me like that. This is no longer okay with me, because your self-respect is growing. But self-respect doesn't have to mean you shove off. That's putting resistance in the world. The self-respect can also be respecting others. And whenever we do things with a melted, loving heart, everybody flows. And if you're telling that person shove off when they're calling, even if you don't answer it, every thought is a thing. So it's as if you got a tennis ball that said shove off and you threw it at their head. Take that. So that's one way to think about your thoughts. Because that actually happens. You actually abuse somebody if you think something negative, even resistance, when you're trying to take care of yourself. So the way to do it, the trick, is love. You ask divine love, your higher self, your high consciousness, whatever high being you'd like to work with, tell them what you want. That's it. So, I pray to love these phone calls. And then from there, whenever you are busy, you can easily turn your phone off. Ta-da! You easily silence your phone without feeling regret, shame, or guilt. And you send them love. Delete, I love you. I'll message you later. You don't even have to say it. You just say it in your mind. And then when you do have time, you're fresh. And imagine if this is how you started your day. Because I know me, when I'm getting ready to come to the center, sometimes I'm running all around and I can't get all the phone calls. A lot of times phone calls happen right before it's time to open, but that's also the time I'm getting everything together. So it's perfectly okay to just say, I'm not going to answer right now, I'll answer later. So you go with the flow. This is a side example of the miracles of this. When I moved to Georgia, an example of something I didn't like was I did not like Decatur. When I first moved to Georgia, I was told Decatur was a small town. And I myself, at that time, would get overstimulated very easily. And so I was very sad that I left California that was very busy and traffic and lights and people and trash and so all over the place all the time. And I wanted to come to a small town with nature around and not as many people. So I resisted it. And then I prayed. I prayed to love Decatur. I love Decatur so much that my friends wanted to give me a bumper sticker that said, I love Decatur. I didn't do any effort. I didn't make that happen. I just asked for that attitude. Imagine life that simple. That's what I call going with the flow. Just asking for the attitude you want to feel. And then all the tools and strategies will come. Until next time.